Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. This is my first ever playthrough of Trials and Tribulations. We left the last episode on a tiny bit of a cliffhanger, but I think what we're going to do here is show fingerprints on the urn. The reason I don't want to pick these, of course, is because this will get us nothing. This is just hearsay, like who cares about what we saw, we have to prove it. If there is fingerprints on the urn from Atomy, then we're definitely gonna find them. If not, then we're probably in a worse situation, but I'm gonna pick this anyway. I can prove where the urn was by the fingerprints on it.
Fingerprints, eh? Ah, come on now. Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed.
He's wearing gloves all the time as well, that's the issue.
May I go on? Good. Now it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place.
Then why didn't you mention this at me?
In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see.
Oh yeah, by the way, I should also say that there is a lot of names in this game that are puns. A lot of names like Atomy and Luke, or like Luke at me, or like, you know, Ron Delight. Which, you know, there's going to be quite a bit. They love doing that in this game. I think with Ron, I said delete because I felt like it was like a more fancier name, and I thought it was maybe a pun on delete. For Luke Atomy, I say Atomy because I don't believe it's going to be at me. Like, Atomy doesn't sound like a proper last name, but Atomy sounds like a proper last name, but you can also look at it in the other way, if you know what I mean. I don't think all of the pun names are exactly as the puns are, if that makes sense. I think they're kind of like offshoots of them, but they can be read as the puns, if that makes sense. Let's get on with the case, anyway.
In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves. As you can see, I said this as well. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything.
What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Are we just going to take his word for this at this point? Nick, what are you going to do now? I've come too far to turn back now. Atomy must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left the fingerprints on it, so we can make out that somebody might have done it as well? The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. Wait. So I need, like, can we, like, hold on one second. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. Who would have touched it other than him? If it was in his room. I'm not quite entirely sure. So we're looking at people. Okay, so let's rule out everybody who it couldn't be. Okay, let's just do that right now, okay? It's not Larry Butts. There's no way it was Larry Butts. It's not Godot. It's not you. It's definitely not you. It's not you. Could be it, but like you don't have any fingerprints on it. It's not you. It's not you. Well, it could be him, but he wasn't there. That's the thing. We have to talk about people who were there. The only people who were there was me, well, Pearl, Maya, and me. That's the three people who were there. And if I'm remembering back, Maya didn't touch it. Pearl for sure couldn't lift it, or at least that's the way I look at it. Mia definitely couldn't do it, for one reason that's up there in brackets. So that leaves kind of Maya and Phoenix, which like, maybe I'm not understanding that entirely. We're only gonna lose one bar on this, so like I'm gonna choose both Maya and Phoenix, cause like I guess what we could say is that if we touched it, then we would have to have known where it was at the time. But if I'm recalling, it seems like we didn't actually do... This is a hard one. But again, process of elimination with all these characters here. Like, Gumshoe might have touched it. Yes, Master Mass might have touched it as well. I'm gonna say about me and Maya. I'm gonna try me first.
So what is all the fuss about fingerprints anyway?
Mr. Atomy, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey, Nick. Come on. Yeah, we did open up. This is what I was saying, but I can't recall exactly if we touched it, though. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec. I'm taking it out now. Yes, okay, so we did touch it. I remember we opened up the bag, but I can't remember if we touched it. That's the only thing I couldn't remember. But I guess that makes sense. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Yeah, and he stopped us. I remember this. but I didn't exactly remember if we took it out entirely. It's been a few days, by the way, since this episode and the last episode, if you didn't realize. Okay, so that works out. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at the time, but I did touch what was inside.
What? You touched it?
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad we kind of like half figured that out at the very least. And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard.
Well, that was just...
Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then that proves that the urn was in the Detective Adamy's office. That's great, Phoenix. That's actually really good. Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say? It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, says. I polished the urn until it was just about glowing. Oh my god, Phoenix, you're amazing. I would have never have thought of that. That's so good. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. Oh my god, that's really good, Phoenix. I'm glad they didn't make me figure that out. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. True. And there's no way Adrian Andrews wouldn't wear gloves while working with it. There's no way. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Atomy Detective Agency. Huh. This blend, Godot Blend 107, I've decided it's a little too bitter. Oh, that's the first time we've seen him shook as well. And kind of short-circuiting in a way, almost. I love this game. Like, it's so good.
Order, order, order. I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait. Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying?
Yes, I've finally broken him down. Oh my god. Such a fantastic design. It works for him so well.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
Oh no. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. I do not like fruitcake.
You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only Master Mask.
I don't know if I believe it fully though, that's the thing.
I hope you all enjoyed my little performance.
I could feel that almost turning into a natural laugh on my own part there, so I'm glad he's cut off before I started laughing for real.
Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atomy's condition?
He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be.
Well, it looks like the matter has been settled. I can perilously close the two... I'm perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief.
Nick, you were right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief.
The court finds the defendant Ron Delight.
Hold it. Oh no, Ronnie. You're wrong. Wrong, I tell you. I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but not right is what I was really trying to say. Oh, he's not. This can't be happening. Ron. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me. I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. So do it. Pronounce me guilty, please. Is this the first time in a kangaroo court? I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but is this the first time in Ace Attorney's history that we've had a character, two characters, fighting over which one of them is the guilty one? Both wanting technically to be the guilty one. That's interesting. That's a really good way to do this. And like, to be honest, like, they're good writers, the people who write this, especially for like to come up with these many cases that are all very interesting. And but not only that, like I don't think I've seen that in any game. Two people who are going to be arrested and maybe put away for a very long time at the very least are fighting over who gets to be put away in jail because they both want to be considered Master Mask because he's so famous and so cool, you know? The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry up, Master. What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you. Oh, Godot is having a field day with his stubble.
Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee.
Hey there, Mr. Thief.
Yes, sir?
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry.
Okay, here's the thing, Godot. I can put up with you, but if you insult Ron, it's over. And Ron don't need to be any type of man. Ron's his own man.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean.
If you are Master Mass, then prove it. That's what it means.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to. He says he'd be happy to, Nick.
It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to this fantasy.
Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. I know that. I won't fail, I swear.
Okay then, talk. We're all listening.
Oh well, let's all have a listen to this confession.
Oh no. I don't want him to do this. I don't want him to do this at all.
The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Master Mask, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the yarn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night was...
Oh wait, hold on a second. We do have an alibi. We do have an alibi. Because he was in the KB security building at the time. With Butts.
I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle. It got torn off. That's all.
I don't like the direction this trial has taken.
But this is how every trial goes, at least with me anyway. You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot.
You're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only gonna get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best.
All right, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination.
Yeah, we have an idea of what's gonna happen anyway. Ron, you're so handsome, don't go to prison. Like, the truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't actually prove I'm a Master Mask. Please, please. This is what I'm gonna present it on, by the way. Not the alibi part, because I feel like we have to present that we can present Ron's wallet and that. I'm gonna present this on this for now, okay, guys? I think that's what we do, because you can't actually prove it. We can prove it. We can 100% prove this because of this freaking key card. This is Ron's key card.
Mr. Delight, the wallet belongs to you, correct?
Could we just presented the wallet as well? I suppose so, but like, I guess like both works, maybe? Does both work? Let me know, does both work?
Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away.
No. The reason I thought that'd be better to present the card instead of the wallet is because the card is actually like the official... We took it out of the wallet, first of all. And the card itself is Ron's security card that proves that he works in there, you know what I mean? We can say like Larry Butts found the wallet, which is fine too, but I feel like that would also be we need Larry to tell us, right? We couldn't just say that, right? Well, we're going to be probably doing something similar to that anyway.
No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence.
Evidence?
Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner.
This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters.
What? Surely you're not serious.
Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night. I'm trying to fight every fiber in my being to not call him Delete. I might just keep calling him Delete.
No!
So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi. Oh no. Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry anyway. That's true. That's true. Phoenix is very, very good.
Well, Mr. Cadeau, do you have anything to say?
Oh, drinking that coffee. Yeah, people are saying it's a very good style. I agree. I think the fabrics and the tie color is great. I just like, maybe green shirts isn't what I would have picked. But it goes well with his white hair, I suppose, so I guess that worked out.
And stop drinking that coffee.
Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Cadeau. All right, I'll try. I'll do it. I will.
He's really got Mr. Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid in the first day of school. Okay, let's make a decision right now. I'm gonna call him Delete. I know it's Delight, but I've called him Delete for so long that it's just like a part of me now, okay? I think we don't want any more interruptions like this, okay? If it bothers you, then I'm sure some other playthrough calls him Delight all the time. Okay.
Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at the KB security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there, not the heist. Who would try and plant evidence to make someone look innocent, though? Unless it was Desi, but I don't think that she would do that. Planted it there? He's really reaching now. Mr. Delete, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The key card to KB Security CEO's office. No. That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? Motive, of course. Why would the thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway?
Well, Mr. Wright, it looks like you need some more evidence after all.
Stupid kid.
Now then, let's see your evidence.
What evidence? What evidence? The evidence that shows why Mr. Lee went to KB Security at 1 a.m. that night. What evidence? Oh, yes. Come to KB Security at 1 a.m. Yes. Okay, great. Can we present this? Take that. Mr. Delete, I believe you've seen this before, correct?
What is this?
A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes. Basically, it says bring $50,000.
That certainly sounds like blackmail, all right.
At the time of the theft, Mr. Delete was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security CEO office, a full half hour away from the scene of the crime.
Oh wow, he did the cool thing, but still is very gulping coffee. It reminds you of Caspar from Fire Emblem, just gulping the coffee or the tea.
Order, order, order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. It looks like a perfect case for the defense.
You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of the security company. But did you actually investigate the CEO at all? No, we did not, actually. Okay, well, I don't think we had time, though. We were right before the end of the trial, right? Right before the trial was starting. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what... I wasn't accusing the CEO! I was saying that someone was there. Not sure what I think of that. At least I know what I think of you. So he was saying, like, to Phoenix that, like, he knows exactly what he thinks, or maybe I don't know.
Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim the defendant entered the CEO's office, but you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright.
Nick, I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There is someone else who can testify. This is the person who can testify that the keycard was used at 1 a.m. last night. Who else? But the one who works with Ron, or as a colleague of Ron, Mr. Larry Butts, age 25.
Who's this useless-looking young man?
Judge, I wouldn't be calling anyone else useless, okay? Let's not go there. Let's not try this, okay? I think out of like 12 cases we've done, you've nearly ruined all of them.
You don't remember him, Your Honor?
Not exactly. but just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat.
It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked it out of his memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as guard at KB Security that night. Oh? The question at hand is the key card. Yep, that's the key card they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one is for the CEO's office. You need to get into that room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. So we can get a record of that right away. We can get it like as soon as possible. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this keycard's data. Yeah, the tie does look good with the shirt. You guys are right. Look good. Looks very good. Everything's going white. For why? Oh, that's the you gotta go get some stuff music, isn't it?
Well, Mr. Cadeau?
The name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here.
So what does it show?
Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime. Found in Ron's wallet, used on October 12th, the night of the crime at 1 a.m.
But that means it can't be Mr. Delete dressed up as Master Mask in the photo.
Huh. It looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough to brew a good cup of joe. So then... Ron Delete... I think I'm gonna call him Delight. Because now I'm questioning Delete all the time. I'm sorry guys for this. I know it's probably gonna be a little bit confusing. Let's call him Delight. Let's just go with it. Unless someone thinks it is Delete, and then we'll talk about it. But like, I don't want to pronounce the name completely wrong just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Just because it's you, I'm used to it. Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be mask to mask. Good job, you did it, Nick.
That's enough. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of thief.
What's wrong, Your Honor?
I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do you have any further objections?
No, Your Honor. Oh, no, Ronnie boy.
Oh no, the poor boy, he's getting ready to say something.
Very well, the court finds the defendant Mr. Ron Delete.
I said it again. There we go, not guilty. Okay. Great, we did it.
Court is now adjourned.
This whole episode is just gonna be me like, should I calm Delight? Should I calm Delete? And everyone's gonna be like, it don't matter that much. And I agree, it does not. We'll call him whenever it comes up at the time. October 13th, 2:24 p.m. District Court defending lobby number 4. Oh Maya, it's always good to see you. Nick, you did it. You were right after all. This is very strange. Because like, it doesn't feel like we're done with this case. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy. Oh, Miss Delete. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Haha, shucks. Thanks, Miss Delete. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Congratulations to you too, Pearl. You're part of the team. Oh, Pearls, I've got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? She's ready to fight. Oh, she's nobody. She's just, You're blushing. How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of her. Did she slap me? Yeah, she did. She slapped me. Pearly. This woman is Miss Desiree's Delete. She's she's our client's wife. Mr. Nick. Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Oh no. Going behind the back of your own client. No, you've got it all wrong. Oh my god, she did it again. I love Pearls, man. I love her. I'll never forgive you. Ow! A double slap. Well, anyway. All Zelda ends with, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. We got the sacred urn back, and the thief has been caught. You're so right. And it's all thanks to Nicky boy here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delete, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Oh, please. You're embarrassing me. If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? We know why he looks so glum. He wants to be the freaking Master Mask. But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now?
What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know that, and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is... Come on.
Oh, come on. Give the kid some time. You just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo?
Mr. Godot, what are you doing here?
Oh, come on. I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite.
Oh, what a smile.
Maybe we should learn my name before you call me buddy, I agree. Well, playtime is over.
Huh?
Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered. What? No, oh my god, no.
I knew it. Everything felt too in place. Everything felt too in place. Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Like 2 minutes ago, Maya.
Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, body? The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th.
1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean...
That's right, amigo. At the same time that cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. Wait,
but we just totally proved that Ron was there at the time. We might have just unintentionally sentenced Ron Delight Delete to a lifetime in prison. We need... Oh no.
So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, you figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today?
Help me out? What?
On October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delete was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbued with the utter rage.
What are you saying? Imbued with rage?
Come on. Don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delete was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
Wow, really?
An employee of KB Security?
I thought we already knew that though, did we? Hold on a second. I thought this key card kind of gave us a indication that he was working there at some point. Maybe they didn't say that, but I always just assumed. But I didn't know he's a security guard.
It looks like the alibi saved him from being convicted as a thief.
Is going to be the noose to get him... Yeah, it is. It's the noose that's going to get him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi. Yeah, So this is kind of like a big play from Godot here. Godot knew about this murder happening, or knew about the body of the guy at KB Security. Gave us this case. Just so he could, use it in the next case. Because it's there. It's proven. It's a fact in the court of law. Damn.
He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No, that's a lie. It can't be true.
Oh, but I'm a thief, I tell you. Ron Delite, you're going to be going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder.
What?
This is impossible. I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite.
Oh my god, that is a strange but effective play.
You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two?
I've returned from the depths of hell to battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delete.
Again, I don't usually apologize for stuff during playthroughs, but the Delight stuff has really thrown me for a loop, and I do apologize because it is probably distracting as well. We're gonna call him Delight. End of. That's it. Because I can't keep going with this distraction in my head, if you know what I mean. And I can't keep explaining it to people who come in a year later, and you know what I mean? It's a whole thing. I apologize. I don't usually apologize for this type of stuff, but I hope that makes sense. I don't want it to be distracting at all.
Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah, this is trouble. This is trouble. Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny.
What the heck's gonna happen next? I don't believe that I think he really did want to become... I really do think that he wanted to become Master, wanted to be Master. I don't truly believe that this boy intentionally wanted to get arrested to, you know, like get away so he didn't have to be charged for murder. I hope not anyway. October 13th, 3:02 p.m., Wright & Co. law offices. You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred. No way, Jose, I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself, at least from what I can understand. Yeah, we walked into it, Pearl. We walked into it seriously. Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder? I think I'm going to head back to Crane Village for a little while if that's oh, real? You need us to head back with you? You okay by yourself? Well, she got here by herself, I suppose. Sure, but why? I'm going to bring the sacred urn back and have some people take a look at it. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with... No, Miss Sigmai, you should stay here. I want you to spend some special quality time together, full of love and happiness. Pearl is so caught up in her fantasy she forgot there's a murder to solve. Sacred urn given to Pearls. Well, Phoenix, I'm sorry, but ships are more important than crimes. I'm sorry. Now remember, no fighting, okay? We won't, Pearl. We won't. I'm gonna miss Pearl. She's gone. Okay, Nick, time to get going on this murder investigation. So, like, this is actually, like, unbelievably interesting to me. For this whole episode has been. One of the reasons is, of course, that we had two criminals, quote-unquote criminals, kind of like, or defendants, I should say, a witness and a defendant, fighting over kind of like who is the guilty one, you know? Then at the same time now, Godot just accepted it. And it was kind of weird when he accepted, hey, yeah, the case is over. He let us win. We have beaten him once. We have beaten him once in the courtroom, but it doesn't feel like a defeat. It doesn't feel like a victory because he walked us into another case. He's gonna come back again with a way stronger case just because he lost the original case. And it doesn't matter in the record and remembering, you know, people, when everyone's gonna remember him for like, oh, you know, remember that case? No one's gonna be like, oh, remember that case no one's gonna be like, hey, do you remember that case where the freaking vase went missing? People are gonna be like, remember when Phoenix lost to Godot in that big murder trial? Because that's the one that's gonna be like even more important. That's the one that's gonna be remembered more, as the other one will just be kind of a lead-in. I think it's so interesting. I think it's such a good way they're writing the story. I think it actually really great twist, really great turn. And it makes Godot a way more serious threat because I wasn't taking him as seriously because I felt like he was extremely refreshing because he wasn't one of the other people we usually face who were just trying to stop the court all the time for silly reasons. He did throw coffee at us, but he kind of like was accepting his fate. And now we realize what was happening, why he was so cooperative, if that makes sense. It was really cool. I like that. So what do we do now? Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder. Well, first we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located. Hey, why don't we ask Miss Elite? I said it again. She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles. Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you? I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with her dinky little bike, Nicky boy. Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions for Mr. Delight. Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center too. So we have two places we can go now, which is the hideout, and we can also go to the detention center. So that's a good way to start. Let's talk about the sacred urn. You must be relieved we got the sacred urn back, huh? You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Yeah, it's put back together kind of properly. Don't look puzzled at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Amy, like it always used to. And it has paint splotches all over it. Did it break again? And the person who took it would put it back together? Oh yeah, you're right. Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before. Yeah, they were not. They were not. Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Amy's name into I am. Oh, I can't. Don't show me Pearl crying ever again. I will delete this game. And that repair was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Is it possible that the urn is fake? I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Crane Village, sure. Yeah, I suppose. Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Crane Village in a long time. So I guess people still go to Crane Village to do their training, right? Yep. If you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training. So why haven't you been training lately, Maya? Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to the channeling dojo to do just that. A channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is. If you're going to train, you have to be serious, otherwise real tragedies can happen. That makes sense. That does make sense. Is what happened last year still bothering you? Oh, of course it is. It was a traumatic experience, and she felt like it was her fault for a long time. That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the crane technique, she temporarily loses her own will. So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit the terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. Bang. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. It for sure was not. You know that, don't you? I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all. It sounds like being the Master Crane is going to be a heavy responsibility, for sure it will be. Okay, we kind of have like a whole idea where we can go now. So the two places I'm looking to go first are Damascus Hideout and Detention. Let's go bottom to top. By the way, I should say, as we're heading here, a lot of people suggested what next games we should play after this, and the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I think that just released, was one of the biggest suggestions. We'll play that sooner rather than later. I actually like the idea of playing those games. October 13th, Master Hideout. Oh, Nicky boy, Maya. Mr. Light. All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie. Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting the case. Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Sure, I agree, Maya. I actually agree with Maya here. She doesn't, yeah. Hey, Nicky boy, please. Please help Ronnie. He's not a killer. I swear. My Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly. Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find. Really? Are you serious? Of course. I'm so happy. Of course. You guys have been like, the thing is like, on the surface level, at the very basic level of conversation we've had with Ron and with Desiree, Ron has been very delusional, but Desiree has been unbelievably helpful, has been very forthcoming, has given us all the information we've asked for, I think, at this point. So like, there's no real reason for me to doubt her as of yet. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore. I know the idea Mr. Light was had such a vulnerable side. Yeah, she seems pretty cool. But then again, a lot of people do have that vulnerable side to them. You know what I mean? And like, even though we try to hide it sometimes, and people try to hide it sometimes, it's in these type of situations that it truly shows. So let's talk to her about some stuff. So, Ron. Listen carefully, Nicky boy. My Ronnie would never ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick. Yeah, I kind of agree too. Yeah, but you have to admit, he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him snapping and screaming, please die. Please die. See, the way you said please die is what stops me here. Because yes, he would maybe politely snap at someone. But like, the only times he's kind of snapped is when like he's been under like extreme stress that seems to be like emotional stress. And every other time he's been polite as like a little like church mouse or whatever. Like he's been lovely. I've loved my encounters with Ron. I don't see him as a murderer either. He would never say that. Anyway, Mr. Light, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him. Mr. Light, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world. What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief. Huh. The very idea. That's actually like a really... I'm stealing some of those expressions. That's really cool. I guess I just don't get it. Huh? Get what? I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple. It's called completion. Some people complete each other.
It works very well with a lot of people, and I love that. I always love it. It's actually one of my favorite things through love stories throughout the years. Tidus and Yuna being one of my favorite examples of this in Final Fantasy X, you know? Opposites attract because sometimes you need another piece of yourself within another person. Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway. What? For you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I usually go... No, okay, we'll save the other one. But okay, that's gonna be like the dessert. I can't wait to hear about this. I hate these kinds of people more than anything. You mean ace detectives? No, I'm fine with ace detectives. Oh, so then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be ace detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. So are we just to accept that he's Master Mask at this point? By the way, why did you go to the Detective Academy's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try and find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously, the real Master Mask is not Ronnie, right? Yeah, like we definitely for sure established that at this point. I just kind of like admire her her support of Ronnie as well. It's actually really nice. Yeah? And Detective Academy knew more about Master Mask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV. So then, you went there to ask him some questions? That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said, the ace detective isn't in right now, but I forced my way past her into his hideout. Yeah, Desiree. Desiree's badass. Forceful entry. I wouldn't exactly call it office his hideout. The bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that bag there yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. I can totally see that. And like, I like her attitude as well. She doesn't have a problem with thieves. She doesn't have a problem with people stealing things. You know, she doesn't have a problem with people being detectives. It's people who are like pretending to be who they're not, but like, I suppose then it's kind of like a really interesting part of our character because she loves the fantasy that, but I guess there's a difference between like Ron living in a fantasy world and one person deliberately trying to create crime so he can stop them. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different, I suppose. That's a lot different, actually. KB Security. Mr. Light, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly. Of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works. So she thinks he still works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today... So he doesn't work there, yeah. Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron DeLite was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore. It looks like Mr. Light doesn't know. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away, by motorcycle that is. Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car. Well, I have to admit, I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike. I bet you do. I bet you do. To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't illegally literally flying? Why don't I give you a ride sometime? I'm ready. How about now? No, I'll pass, thanks. Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves? What a scaredy cat you are, Nick. Mr. Light told us the location of KB Security. Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick. Not until we learn about love at first sight. I want to learn about this. So, was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Light? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Oh, wow, okay. Saved your life. I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl up into a little ball in the corner, so I fought back. Yeah, you do not seem like that type either. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You should always try and, stay alive. Robbers? Yeah, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives and I broke down into tears. Yeah, I would too, if I were in that situation. Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. Light come running in to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember, he looked so handsome in that guard uniform is. Oh. He went right up to these two knife-wielding robbers and screamed. Screamed? Please stop it, he screamed. I could see the robber's face turn pale. That high-pitched shriek does have a surprisingly strong effect on people. Then crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself. He came to save me, a total stranger all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did. It's so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess. Nick, I'll hope you do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. With Maya, that possibility always seemed, yeah, I was about to say, that could happen at any time. Okay, guys, that's gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, like, you know, I'll get the name right eventually. It's just that it was so implanted in my brain that it would delete that I just kind of like, you know, it was just there. I really love where this case is going. I love it. Also, I'll say this as well. How brave of Ron to be able to just run in and do something like that. Because here's the thing, we all say that we'll be able to do it at the time, but it's a lot more difficult. But especially when someone's holding a knife or holding someone hostage. And it's really refreshing to know that, you know, from what we're seeing is that Ron didn't save her because he fell in love with her. She fell in love with him because he looked so handsome as he was saving her, and then obviously got to know him after that as well. I do think that the opposites attract thing, like, is 100% a true thing. It totally is. I have so much more respect for these two. Every single episode, I have much more respect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting the series. Guys, you have no idea how much fun I'm having. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I'm having the most fun. I'm having so much fun. Like, you've no idea. Like, it's like I'm waking up to play this game and it's awesome. I had to like bulk record because I was doing something on the weekend. And even then I was like, oh, I just want to be playing Trials and Tribulations right now. This is so much fun. That's why I can't leave those games away for the next while. We're going to be playing more of this franchise. And I hope they make more in the franchise too in terms of new games as well, so we can play those also. See you very soon. Bye-bye.